Welcome back to Dymin in the Rough with Lance Lynn sometimes. Lance is not here today because I had the opportunity to talk with Ashlyn Burger, wife of Jake Burger, who you might know from the White Sox or the Miami Marlins, and recently traded to the Texas Rangers. Jake and Ashlyn welcomed a beautiful baby girl, Penelope, back in October, and she was born with Down syndrome. So we really dove in on baby Penelope's story and learned all things Down syndrome, baseball, and we just had a really, really great discussion. So I'm really excited for you to listen. And as always, like, subscribe, follow, and tell me what you think in the comments below. Here's Ashlyn. You ready to get popping?
Yeah.
So the whole point of this is for people to really get to know you.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, it's all
Sounds
about you.
good.
We can play a little rapid fire.
Uh-oh, okay.
Fun.
Sounds good.
Whatever. All right. So are you a morning person or are you a night owl?
Morning.
Yes.
Morning. Yeah.
I think I'm both. I don't think I sleep ever.
No, I could not. I mean, I'm asleep at 8:30.
Yeah.
But I would get up at 5 and I'm ready to start the day. But no shot that I could stay up late.
Alrighty. What's your favorite guilty pleasure other than Diamond in the Rough? Like TV show?
I'm a binge reader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, big binge reader. I will reread books 100 times.
Yeah.
Literally, I've read the Sarah J. Maas, all of her books. Court of Thorn and Roses.
What genre? Oh, see, I bought that and I haven't started it yet, but everyone tells me that it's amazing.
It's so good. Jake got me a special hand-painted
Oh, wow.
piece for Christmas. That's how much I like. He's you read the same books and laugh at them like you're a psychopath. And I'm well, they're characters.
It looks really good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. That's awesome. Okay. What's your go-to coffee order?
Black coffee with a splash of half and half.
Oh, so you're a serial killer. Got it. Lance is too.
Yes.
That's funny. What's your best parenting hack?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't feel like I have any right now with my toddler.
Yes, your boys are the same age, right? A couple weeks apart.
A couple weeks apart. Yeah. I can get Brooks to do just about anything by offering him a pickle.
Oh, that's healthier than the popsicles that my kids have daily.
He loves pickles. It started in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, we gave him a pickle at a game. There's a Jersey Mike's right outside, and so we'd go and get pickles. And he's loved pickles since he was 6 months old.
That's amazing. Is he climbing over everything?
No, he doesn't climb. He's like Jake. He's a scaredy cat. So he's won't go down the stairs, won't go up the stairs, will not climb. He's waits till someone's there to make sure he's okay.
I actually love that for you because Judge is on a counter or he's on top of the shelves that I didn't think he was on. And I'm no fear at all. Crazy.
Yeah. Brooks is just like Jake. He's scared of everything, which is great for me right now.
He loves baseball too, right?
He will sit through 9 innings. It's
Good
insane.
for you. My kids need a churro, an iPad.
Yeah.
You got it figured out, really.
I mean, I told Jake, you got one of them that cares. We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, how does he feel about being a big brother?
He loves her. He's super protective over her.
That's
and
good.
First thing in the morning, where's Poppy? He calls her Poppy. The troll. I think he named her after the troll.
That is so cute.
So he's
love that.
All about Poppy girl.
And that bond is just going to grow and get cuter and sweeter and amazing.
I'm really excited to watch that. We'll see how it goes when she's crawling and walking and stuff.
Yes. Well, I'm going to talk about her because you've made your podcast rounds.
Yeah.
And I watched a little something extra, and that was the most precious podcast that I have ever seen in my whole entire life. I got emotional so many times.
I get emotional for
different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You and Jake did amazing, first off.
Thank you.
You have it all together, and I love that. Nancy.
I know.
She's so strong but compassionate, and she would do anything for anybody, but she would also not take anything from anyone. And Franco being a big brother, and Gigi is a little queen. I was obsessed, and I could see your family in their family.
Yeah,
I could see you being like Nancy in the future.
We aspired to be like them.
Yeah, no, definitely amazing. So we obviously have to talk about Penelope.
Yes, sweet Papa.
Yes. So I know you talked all about that on their podcast, but for our listeners,
Oh, wow.
can you take me through when you found out about Penelope's diagnosis and like how that transpired afterwards?
Yes. So I was, I think, like 12 weeks pregnant. I mean, early. I think it was 10 weeks. I was home. Jake was somewhere. And we did our like early genetic testing. We wanted to get the gender. And
Yeah.
so it came over on an email. And so we FaceTimed Jake. And I said, "Are you ready to find out?" And he goes, "Yep." And so I open up the email and it says girl, like 99% or whatever. So you're hoping that that's like 100%. And then right underneath it said 99% trisomy 21. And so I Googled it really fast and it said Down syndrome. And I'm like, whoa. And so I FaceTime Jake and I'm like, "Are you ready?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "We're having a little girl." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, yay." Like, he's like wasn't excited to have a girl because he's like, "I really was hoping we could just get away with like wearing all of Brooks's clothes and not having to buy
Oh,
them."
yeah.
And I said, "And she's gonna have Down syndrome." And I like started, crying because it's big, you know what I mean? And he just looks at me and goes, "Okay, and?" I'm like, "What do you mean, okay, and? Like, do you understand what that means?" And he's like, "Yeah, like, okay. And like, it is what it is. It's God's plan, and we'll figure it out." And I was just like, "How are you so calm and collected?" Which ended up making me very calm and collected too.
That's amazing.
And so you can do a couple further testing things when they give you a diagnosis like that or any sort of genetic abnormality. But for us, it was like, why would we even go there? Like, if this test says it's 99%, even if it said it was 20%, like that's going to be our assumption until she's born, and we'll go from there then. And so we were really calm about it. We always kind of wondered, especially for Jake, like why him? Why baseball? Why this platform? He tore his Achilles twice. He was never supposed to come back and play ever again. Why was he like, why did God put him on the road that he has? Why is he who he is? And it was always like, oh, well, there's got to be a bigger picture. And so when we did get her diagnosis, it was like, oh, it like clicked. It was like, well, this makes sense. And so I like reached out to a couple of like veterans, like Joe Kelly's wife, and was like, "Hey, you've been in here for like 600 years. Like, we're having a baby with Down syndrome, and who do you know that's done it? Because like I don't know how to do it. Like, right? We've got therapies every day. We've got like a myriad of medical issues. So like, how do we do it?" And she's like, "Well, you're the only one." She's like, Albert. I can't say his last name. Pujols.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he had a daughter with Down syndrome, and so they're
I did not know that.
the only people that anyone really, or at least that like our sphere knew of. And she's like, "Yeah, but he's retired, so you're kind of like the only one. So you'll have to figure it out as you go." And I was like, "All right." And so we kind of figured out that Jake's the only active player. So then we really knew, like, oh wow, this is like huge.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to change a lot of people's lives and
Have
help.
a huge impact.
Yeah.
Well, how did you prepare? Like, was it your doctors? Was it online research? Or did you reach out to people in the Down syndrome community?
They have like great Facebook groups. There's like a whole network of like every group you could possibly think of. So like there's a group for her heart condition. There was a group for her stomach problem. There's a group for delays, feeding, nursing. I mean, everything you can possibly think of. So I just kind of joined a lot of the boards and read through a lot of those things. My brother-in-law has Down syndrome. And so his mom has been just like a light in the world for me with knowledge. She was like one of the first people we told, and she was just like, "Congratulations." And so everyone kept telling us, "Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations." And we were like, okay, like, why is everyone saying congratulations? This seems like kind of like a big hurdle. They're like, "Oh, well, we call you guys the lucky few." And like, you'll realize it when you have her. And like, adults and children and people with Down syndrome are just the happiest human beings on the planet. They like never lose their innocence. And we found that out really quickly, that we understood why everyone kept saying congratulations.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. I know that you found out on an email.
Yeah.
And you didn't get to talk to your doctor right away. Tell me honestly how that made you feel. Were you like angry with your doctor for not calling you immediately, or were you like,
No, she called me, I'm not even kidding, 2 hours later.
oh, okay.
And so I got the email from the genetic thing because I like created an account first.
Mm-hmm.
She called me literally 2 hours later and she's like, hey, I like, we need to talk. And I'm like, oh yeah, I saw the Down syndrome, like, diagnosis. And she's like, okay, well, like, let's talk. And I was like, we're good. She's like, do you want to talk about it? And I was like, no, we're good. And she's like, okay, well, we're going to talk about it on Tuesday when you're here. I guess I just got the results faster than she did. So
Okay.
I wasn't
Okay.
upset. I think I was more upset that people kept being like, I'm so sorry. That
Yes.
part. Because I was like,
Yes.
why are you apologizing? Or why are you sorry? Like, this is,
Well, they're projecting their own fears onto you.
yeah. So I think
Yeah.
that was more frustrating. And
Yeah.
so that kind of made me really upset. I have gone, there's only been like one time Jake calls me a adolescent Karen. Yeah.
Explain that.
Uh, so long story short, they're building a house across the street from us.
Uh-huh.
And the construction workers kept parking in front of our driveway. And I couldn't back out of my driveway. And
Mm-hmm.
so I went and stole like down the road from another house, like those like gigantic wood things they put in front of a driveway when they don't want you to drive on it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the middle of the night, I went and got one and dragged it all the way down in front of my driveway and hammered a no parking sign here.
Oh my gosh. I feel like that's valid. I don't think that makes you a Karen if you can't get out of your driveway.
It would have been like 2 in the morning and I got to take someone to the hospital. Like I should be able to back out of the driveway.
Exactly.
So I just put the sign there, and ever since there, he's called me an adolescent Karen. And so I've only gone like full Karen like one time so far. So
Okay. Well,
that's I think is pretty good.
sometimes it's justified to be a Karen.
It's coming. There's going to be more. I'm sure as she ages, but yeah, adolescent Karen.
Oh my gosh. You crack me up. Tell me how the first few days at home with Penelope, how did they go?
Well, we were in the hospital for 3 or 4 days
Mm-hmm.
with NICU because she wasn't supposed to have a functioning stomach.
Mm-hmm.
She did, so that was great.
It is great.
It took away the ability to have like any sort of postpartum stage, though. Which
Mm-hmm.
was really tough.
Mm-hmm.
That was really rough. Because you like, you like come home and you've had babies and like you just like either lay in bed and like all your other kids get to lay with you and you guys watch
Mm-hmm.
movies and you hang out and it's like special. And we didn't have any of that. It was like come home and like there were so many people staying with us just because we thought we were supposed to be in the NICU for 6 weeks. So it was
Mm-hmm.
just like we talk about it a lot. Like we didn't get like a postpartum like stage where we just got to be like a family of four and like
Yeah.
a new rhythm.
Yeah.
And then being in the hospital, like Jake stayed with me the first night. They kept her away from me. We slept, literally slept in that hospital bed together.
Oh.
Jake's like huge. So that was rough. And then there's babies crying in the rooms next to us, and I didn't have mine. So it was tough.
Mhm.
First few days were like,
And
what?
you're going through it too, emotionally, physically, like you need rest, you need all these things. Your hormones, I'm sure, are wackadoodle.
Crazy. I mean, I had her the way I wanted to. I had another unmedicated birth. I labored for 45 minutes, popped her out. She was fantastic. And then they took her from me. And I was not expecting what that experience would be like. So that was rough.
Yeah.
But once we got home, like Brooks was like in love with her and like wanted to be with her. And, then just all the things of being like postpartum, right? Like you're crazy hormonal.
Mm-hmm.
And like if someone moves a dish in the wrong direction, like
Immediate rage. Yeah. No, I get that for sure.
so that was fun. But we're getting there. It's like,
Yeah.
finally the four of us. And then Jake leaves.
Exactly.
Usual.
I know. And I know she has a heart surgery coming up and he leaves this weekend, right? So can you tell me how that's going to
Yeah.
go on?
There she is. The Rangers have been absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So he leaves Friday and then he comes back literally 10 days later and he'll
Oh, that's
be
good.
home for, we're kind of hoping like 3 days. Like we're just surgery, get off life support, and then smooth sailing for a couple days and then come home and then send Jake back as soon as we kind of know she'll be discharged within a couple of days.
Yeah. And then are you going to go out to spring training or not this time?
So we're in quarantine now. We'll
Okay.
stay in quarantine for 2 weeks after she comes home. And then we're just kind of praying that we're able to make opening day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. So not too bad. You'd figure it out. I'm not mad about being home for longer.
I don't blame you at all.
But yeah, not having Jake around will be interesting.
Yeah, I know. It's always tough. How are you mentally, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, I think with Penelope, I'm fine, right? Down syndrome, whatever. Walk in the ballpark.
Yeah.
There's gonna be things that come up. I think her heart surgery, I'm kind of like, her heart will be stopped for 2 hours.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that's
So now
hard.
I'm trying to like, she's like, me? Yes, you. She doesn't get far from the boob at this point, like at all. Say hi.
There you are.
You left me hanging for too long. It's like 10
Oh my
minutes.
gosh, I
Um,
love her.
Bye, girl. So I think when it comes to her surgery, I'm probably going to be in shambles until like it's
Mhm.
over.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that what's really great about the Down syndrome community is that there is so much support if you want it.
Yes.
So like there has been someone that has walked in your shoes,
Yes.
like time and time again. So like there's so many people you can talk to and like be reassured by. The medical staff that we've had here in Nashville has been nothing but incredible. So like even her surgeon like will call and check in and make sure like I'm doing okay. Like you okay? Like it's coming up. We're getting closer, and it's
That's
so it's
amazing.
I feel like really supported by the group of people that we have around us, and the people we've met from her has changed our life. And so we want to be able to do the same thing for others. So I
Mhm.
feel like mentally I'm okay. If I'm not having a good hair day though, it's not a good day for anyone in the house.
I understand.
Well, I'm at that stage.
I got you. No, I understand completely.
And like I'm so frustrated that like my clothes don't fit and like the normal like
Mhm.
thing. Yeah, I would say that if
Just a
like
normal
my
postpartum
jeans
experience. Yeah.
my jeans don't fit yet, so that's frustrating. So then I don't know what to pack to send with Jake to spring training because I don't know if it's gonna fit. So it's like the little like I'm like okay, that's the worst thing I'm worried about. Like I'm gonna be fine, but it's
Yes,
the
you will.
worst thing I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Huh.
How was your postpartum experience between your first child and your second child?
I feel like this one was like so easy.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, like I feel like she was fantastic. I don't know if it was because like the labor and the birth was faster. I don't know if it's because like what to expect the second time around.
Yeah. There's less anxiety because
Yeah, you like just know.
before.
I also feel like being in the hospital, like not knowing when you're coming home, kind of like gets you in a different mental state. Like you're just like, okay, I gotta do this, right? Like I gotta walk to the other side of the hospital, 40 minutes after she's born
Yeah.
so that I could see her, and like you're just in a different headspace. So it almost feels like you don't have time to think about yourself. You're so like just focused on your baby.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was easier because I wasn't like able to kind of like saturate on what I needed, which is probably really bad, but
Well, I hear you. How do you feel like the transition between one kid to two was?
I feel like it's been
Easier,
really
harder?
people hate when I say this, but I feel like it's been really easy.
I agree.
It's
I
like
think it was harder to go from no kids to one kid than have two.
yes.
Because
And like
with Lively, like I was afraid to put clothes on her. I was like, I'm going to break her neck. I'm terrified. Like everything I did, I was second guessing. It was terrible. And then with Rumor, I was like, I got this. I'm fine.
kind of forget that they're there.
A little bit. You're running around with a toddler. So,
I'm like, by the third, I probably won't even know that they're there. I'm
yes.
like,
Are you planning on having lots more children?
yeah, we'd like to have 5.
Holy.
I know. Well, you do it with like 4.
I do. I do. Mia's like 12, and we only get to see her a few times a year, and she's so helpful, and I love her, and I wish she was around more. But
As they get older, like they'll help more.
you're right. You're
Do you
right.
think rumor will help at all?
Yeah, because she likes Judge. Her and Judge are thick as thieves right now, which makes Lively mad.
I
But
love it. When I think about Rumor, I think about her wringing out my neck in the pool in Tampa. So
oh yes, yeah, my children are crazy. But I can't believe you had like unmedicated birth.
yeah, twice. Like I chose to do that now, and sometimes I'm like, why did I choose to do that twice? But
I mean, it's badass, but
it's kind of like a
me,
card you can use forever, right? Like Jake will say no, and I'll be like, but I've given birth twice without an epidural, so
felt every single thing, sir.
and then I get everything. Yeah, it just works. There's no no.
Oh my gosh,
Huh.
that's badass. So good on you, girl.
Yeah, Poppy
Oh,
Princess, and she doesn't take a
sister,
bath.
she doesn't take a passy.
No.
Is she breastfeeding? Okay,
Yeah, I
that's
was
good.
told like she would not nurse,
Mm,
so that was like hard because I like love nursing,
hmm
and she was totally fine.
That's really good.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for you.
thank you. It
That's
was
awesome.
really important for me. So that was good. That probably helped my postpartum experience because if she couldn't nurse, I'd probably not be a normal. I would not be a fun person to be around or talk to. So
See, I was the opposite. Like breastfeeding brought so much stress and anxiety to me, and it felt like I was always had a baby on my boob or I was pumping and I was like, I'm not making enough milk. It made me like so emotional. So I'm
yeah,
glad. I'm always envious of the people who are able to do it and do it for a
well,
long period of time.
it is so stressful. But like I feel like I have friends that are like so yeah, like you said, so stressed out about how much milk, and I have those moments too. Like I still have to
Mhm.
weigh her constantly. She doesn't gain weight well because her heart's are no. There's just so much to it.
Mhm.
Sometimes I get it. It'd just be easier to not, but I'm selfish.
I don't think that's selfish.
I'm like I just liked it so much with Brooks.
Yeah. Well, it's a bonding thing too.
Yeah,
And good for their health and all
yeah.
that stuff.
I
So
mean,
that's
we don't get very far from each other, huh, Poppy?
good. Mm.
No.
Oh my God, I love her so much. Well, what do you think like friends and family and strangers and future teammates that you meet, like how can people support you and parents of children with Down syndrome?
Um, I think it's like the best way to explain it, or the best example I've had is we were at FanFest and someone from their staff was walking me to the family room so I could nurse her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right after we made the announcement for Jake's number change. And he looked at me and was like, um, my sister has Down syndrome. And that was the first thing he said to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, how cool is that? And he was like, no one's ever said that.
What in the world?
Yeah. And so um, I was thought about it, and then I like remember talking to somebody else, and I was like, "Oh yeah, so and so's sister has Down syndrome," and they were like, "Oh, we didn't know that." And I'm like, it feels like more things, like more stories like that, have occurred over time. So it almost feels like people like don't feel comfortable talking about it to people that maybe don't have someone in their family or sphere with like Down syndrome, and it's almost like a taboo. You don't know what to say. It's uncomfortable, um, and so she's like, "No, it's not." So I think for like everybody else, those are around. It's like really Down syndrome is not like it's not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost a blessing. It actually is a blessing. And so if people could react in that way and feel comfortable like talking about it or asking about it and like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we're going up to Jake at FanFest, like, oh, my sister has Down syndrome, so and so, and they were so proud. And it's like we are proud when we have a family member with Down syndrome. And so like we want other people to feel like you can feel comfortable to ask or say something or ask a question. Like most of us are in such a good spot and so lucky with who we have in our life that like we're proud just as you are proud of your normal children.
Yes.
So I think that's kind of the thing is like not to not feel comfortable or to be like, oh, like, like, oh, I had a teammate that has like daughter that has Down syndrome and like just like it's we don't want to feel different from anyone because we don't see life that way. And I think it's like kind of how it's been portrayed from our experience so far is like, oh, no one knew that he had a sister with Down syndrome. Oh, like, and then, it's kind of like we want people to feel super comfortable to have those conversations all the time.
Yeah. That's great. And with this number change, you've started a whole conversation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't do well without. Jake took Brooks to the ballpark, so yeah.
No, you're fine.
The number change has been crazy.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
It's been like we had the idea when we were with the Marlins and we were thinking of changing it over, but Jake felt really bad for people that bought his jersey and then they would have to buy a new jersey with the number change. So we were like kind of going back and forth about it. And then I think literally that night was the night he got traded and the first thing he said was like, we're going to change our number. And I was like,
That's a God thing.
yeah. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, I just got traded. And I was like, what the heck? It was a God thing for sure. It's been insane. It's been really incredible to like, I mean, even like, Rangers, Astros, and we've had tons of Astros fans like reach out to both of us like on DM and be like, I would never, ever, ever wear a Rangers jersey. But I have a sister with Down syndrome, or I have a daughter with Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really, really cool to do something like that for the community.
That really is cool.
Yeah.
You guys are cool people. I think you're really going to love the Rangers. Let's talk a little bit about your trade.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a lot of baseball to talk about because we know each other from the White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Were we only together a season and a half?
I think a season and a half until Jake got traded, right? You guys got traded like...
We went to LA and then you guys went to Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about Miami.
Miami is really cool. Brooks is actually speaking broken Spanish.
That's awesome.
He doesn't say and, he says e.
Okay.
Really cool. Really cool just to be in such a different like culture and environment.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard leaving Chicago because any of us ever knew.
Mm-hmm.
But really cool to like spend time in a different place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were happy about the trade too.
So excited.
Yeah.
Miami for us was really hard with kids.
Yeah.
It was just everything was far. You'd have to plan like nap times around traffic. So it just wasn't like really ideal for us with like what stage of life we were in. And so we were really excited about Texas. Dallas is like a place that has like one of the most vast Down syndrome communities.
Okay.
It was something we were even dabbling about before we got traded. Like, do we maybe move there? Like, what do we, you know what I mean? So when we got traded, it was like God was just like, hey, here's like the domino.
You're being guided every step of the way. That's amazing. You have to feel so at ease.
Yes. Yeah. Really super excited. And Jake's so excited. And to play in a clubhouse with guys that he, like kind of like in Chicago, like grew up idolizing and watching. The Seegers live here. Maddie and I do Bible study together. So Jake and Corey have gotten time to get to know each other and just said he's super excited.
That's really awesome. We were there for a hot minute.
Yeah.
There a year. I'd just given birth to Lively. Oh. And then the next year was COVID. And then the next year we got traded. So I was only there for a year. But Tawny Taylor.
Yes.
Amazing woman.
I mean, we text everything.
No, she's awesome. And it's just like a really family-oriented organization. And their new ballpark, amazing.
Oh, I'm so excited. They've been nothing but absolutely incredible. Yeah, especially Tawny. I'm like, this woman does magic.
Yeah, no, she's awesome. She's a baddie.
I'm really excited.
Yes.
Kind of have FOMO. I'm not going to spring training and like heading out there.
Yeah. I understand, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Poppy Princess. You just want to talk too.
Hi, sister.
She's like, I'm gonna sleep.
It's like your voice is annoying. Stop talking to my mother.
She's like, there we go, Poppy girl. Just have to bounce. My arms are getting really strong now. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I love that. Like a couple months in, you got like cuts in your arms. And you're like,
yeah, I'm like, this is great. I didn't even have to do
that mom strength. I want to talk about on the baseball topic. I want to know about. Well, first I need to start with how you even met Jake because I have no idea.
This crazy story.
Was it like a whirlwind? Because I feel like everything happened really fast for you guys.
It was so insane. I lived in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
My best friend that I grew up with came to town for a baseball wedding for actually Dane Dunning, one of the starting pitchers for the Rangers wedding with his wife.
Okay.
Yes, crazy. And he played for the White Sox too. Um, and so Jake was a groomsman. My girlfriend's boyfriend was a groomsman. I was not invited to the wedding. Like I didn't know these people.
Mhm.
Her and her boyfriend were staying at my house, and so all the guys went and golfed before the rehearsal dinner. And her boyfriend called me and was like, "Hey, we're all running super late. Is it okay if some of us come back and shower at your house?" And I was sure. And so I walked in my front door that day. And as I was walking through the front door, Jake walked out of my guest bathroom in a towel.
That's amazing.
Yep. And so he was like mortified. And I was like, I have seen male nipples before. It's going to be okay. Uh, Makes a lot of sense now that I know his personality.
Oh my gosh.
So we talked for, an hour or two while the rest of everyone got ready and they like took off. And like not even 3 hours later, his mom followed me on Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. He's been talking about you.
Shot to his friend and was like, "What's the deal with this? Is this that guy's mom?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's been talking about you the entire time and then he's gonna marry you." And so I
Oh
guess he
my
called his
God.
mom and said, "I met my wife." Yeah. And so we got to know each other that weekend. He came back a couple of times, like to our house just to hang out with his
Mhm.
um and 6 weeks after that he asked me to marry him.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And we planned our wedding. We booked a venue.
Mhm.
And a day later, I found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
And our Brooks's due date was actually the day that we booked for our wedding.
Oh,
Yeah.
that seems like a sign to me.
It was crazy because we were like, well, we got our deposit back, which was fantastic.
Mhm.
But we just didn't know, sometimes it takes people a while to get pregnant.
Mhm.
We knew we wanted to start having kids. And, lucky, we were really, really fortunate that we were able to get pregnant really quickly.
Yeah. Did you
So,
get married during the season?
yeah, we got married during the All-Star break.
Oh, perfect timing.
It was
That's
perfect.
why there is an all-star break.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Everyone can get married within
Exactly.
3 days. Yeah.
Exactly. I want to know about your very first baseball game to come and watch, Jake. How did that go for you?
It was actually, I'd never been to like a baseball game before.
Okay, like ever?
Yeah, like ever. So I went to a couple spring training games. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my first major league game, it was actually kind of a nightmare. I Jake was not making the opening day roster, so we were planning on going to Charlotte. He got called up the day before opening day,
Oh.
and it was in Detroit, and there was no direct flights. And
Hmm.
so I flew to Atlanta. My flight got canceled at like 7 o'clock at night. I slept in the Atlanta airport, flew to like Cleveland or something, and then drove from Cleveland to
Oh my
Detroit
gosh.
and like literally showed up like 5 minutes before the game started.
That is dedication.
Yeah. I still don't know anything about baseball.
Me neither.
I don't pay attention at all.
I don't really have the attention span.
No
Or
chance.
it's long and it's kind of slow.
I will like go read books.
I mean, you have to go to so many games.
So many games.
Yeah.
Um, I do care about how many home runs he hits because that's the only fun. Like that's fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a sports person.
My sister.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I don't know anything, and honestly prefer it that way.
Yeah.
Because if he came into my office and tried to tell me how to do my job, I'd be like, "You need no."
There was an article written about you guys where what was that article?
Yeah, it was like I think we were still in Chicago where he like wasn't hitting, and I told him to stick his butt out.
Yes, something like that. I feel like you told him something like very specific. You're like, no, the other team does this, and you need to do this. Is that right?
Well, so he wasn't hitting, and he like was so desperate that he's like, "What's different between this video of me hitting and this video?" And I
That's
was
what it was.
like, "Your butt." He goes, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You realize that there's like one thing I look at this entire day." And I'm like, "Well, you hit, you just stick your butt out." And he like the next day went and stuck his butt out, and he hit a home run, and he got his swing back, and he was like, "You got to be kidding me."
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know more than you think.
it can't be that hard. I'm looking at his pants.
Very true. Very true.
So that's my extent of my knowledge with baseball.
I mean, I'm here for it.
It's just a lot, and there's so many games, and it's
Hmm.
like you play for so like how long has Lance been playing for? Like 26 years,
Yeah.
right?
He's not a normal human being.
Yeah, they're just it's a lot. That's a lot of numbers and things and like
And to come into it as a wife when you weren't a fan previously or really know anything about it, and then you're kind of expected to know everything about it, and it's like, I know
no,
what I'm told.
that's it. Yeah.
But when I first met Lance, I was like, listen, I go to baseball games for the beer and the nachos, and that's really it. And I really think he appreciated that about me because, again, you don't want someone being like, hey, you didn't do this, this, and this at this game, and this is why. And I'm like, that
Yeah.
could not be me.
It's really fun. I'm like a lemonade person, so I enjoy finding the best lemonade at different stadiums.
I love that.
So that's kind of my thing. Is
Mhm.
I'll always go find lemonade or pretzels.
Okay. See,
So
I'm a
that's
nachos girly. I'm always looking for the best nachos.
where are the best nachos from your
I thought the
experience?
White Sox had really good nachos.
They did those
Who's
little
got a helmet?
yeah.
And then at Busch Stadium, you've been to Busch Stadium, they have tachos,
No.
tater tots, like nachos, and they're
Oh
so
wait, you know what?
good.
I think I had those.
Yeah. Aren't
I
they
think
bomb?
yeah, I think
So
Jake
good.
this is a thing here. And I was like, this is legit.
Yeah, so good.
That is really
What
good.
is your favorite ballpark food at what stadium?
Super random. I don't know if it's like ballpark food. Minnesota Twins
Mm-hmm.
have a plantain bowl
Oh,
kiosk.
okay.
So good.
That is random. It's very random. That
So
doesn't
good.
even sound like a Minnesota thing.
No, I don't know what it is, but it's so good. Normal ballpark food, I like couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
Best lemonade, Chicago. White Sox.
I think I've only had vodka in my lemonade there.
I'm sure that was good. I'm always
It's
always
pretty good. Yeah. The Rangers have like a giant chicken strip.
No.
Is it called, what is it called? A foul post something?
Oh,
I might have completely made that up, but it's like this big.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yes.
Really excited about that. Were you guys there when it was the new stadium or the old stadium?
So Lance pitched the very last game at the old stadium and the very first game at the new stadium.
That's so cool.
It was cool, but we didn't even get to go. It was COVID year, so
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah.
Well, that is really special.
Yeah, he's in a record book somewhere.
That's really cool.
Hmm.
I don't
What's
know.
your favorite stadium?
Oddly enough, it was always the Rangers Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
like
really
Rangers.
nice.
It's a really nice stadium, and it's inside.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of need in Texas.
I don't know why all of them aren't inside, to be completely honest.
I also agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Miami was like cold though. It was always cold in the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, Rangers is definitely they're in San Francisco.
I don't think I've been to San Francisco.
You've gotta go.
I went to the Oakland.
I'd have never been there
Not the
yet.
same. Well,
Not the same?
they're in, where are they? Sacramento now?
Yeah.
So,
No, they have the best hot chocolates. Like Ghirardelli's is there.
what? In
It's
San Francisco?
it's a 10 out of 10. Like you gotta go there.
How many
And
stadiums have you been to?
I think 20. I only have like 8 left.
I have like 6 left, but Lance doesn't have a job right now, so I might not ever go.
You guys should come to the Rangers.
I know. That would be fun.
fun.
That'd be fun. I don't know what's happening right now, so
Nothing like a day before spring training and not knowing where you're going.
I know, which we've done this once before. He like went 2 weeks into spring training. He was with the Twins. He's been like everywhere basically. But yeah, that was a journey. And we didn't have kids then, so it was like super easy. But now
Yeah.
I'm like, go off, we'll meet you.
You guys got like 6 goats and llmas and a horse and
We do.
farm.
I can see you having all of that too.
That is 100% the plan.
Where are the cows that you're always with?
We're just right down the road.
Okay, so you just visit the cows.
Yeah, we're our like best friends have a farm, and that's where we get all of our raw milk and our eggs and like our cow that we butcher and our pig that we butcher. And
You
so
meet it before it's butchered?
I don't. Jake likes to do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I couldn't do that. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
So no, I don't do that. I would love a farm.
Yeah,
I like what you guys got going on over there.
I love it. It's like healing my inner child.
There you go. Do the kids like the animals, or they just kind of like?
They do it first, and then they're like, Cool.
Right. The goats are
We'll
just,
feed them. Yeah, they're just there. But I like it. It's fun for me.
that'd be tough to leave. I would have a hard time leaving.
Yeah,
So my animals.
it really is. I don't think I'm going to be like, if he goes somewhere crazy far away, I'll be like, we'll catch you when we can.
That.
Yeah. We had a good season last year with the Cardinals, and it kind of felt like a full circle moment. So I'm like, and he's kind of trying to accept if it's retirement or not. But
Yeah. And that's like, because he started there too?
Mhm.
Okay. That is really full circle.
Yeah.
That's special. That'd be really nice.
Yeah. I want to ask you more baseball questions.
Okay. Moving on.
So, what is a baseball wife confession? Like funny or unexpected realities of being married to an athlete.
Oh, man. I feel like you can get in trouble with this.
That's true. That is so true.
That's a great question.
That's why I asked you about your first game, because mine was like traumatic as hell. So I thought you were going to have some tea for me.
Oh, I mean, anything I want to say, probably shouldn't say.
Okay, moving on.
I would say, unexpected. I don't think people really understand all that's put on the family
Yeah.
or the wife. Like, you're just the rock, you're the ship, you do everything.
You do everything, and then you're treated like you do nothing, and like you're freeloading.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great way of saying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough because being a mom is already the hardest job on the planet. And so I feel like when it comes to like sports, I feel like people are like, well, at least your husband plays baseball. And I'm like, my husband's not home for anything, and I do everything by myself. And like, would you like your kids to not be put down by their dad, for 9 months out of the year?
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's like things like that that I'm like, no, it is fantastic and there's incredible things, and it's, like really special to be able to do that and watch Jake live out his dream.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also like moments where you're just like, um, if we were normal,
Mm-hmm.
anything else I want to say, I can't say.
Okay, I get that.
I should.
No, I totally get it. Well, another thing, I think what you're trying to say is there's a lot of just different personalities from all over the country being
Yeah.
thrown together for a season, and you're trying to
Get along.
and and that's with really anything.
Yes. It's weird because it's like, what other job do you get to, for your husband's job, right? Get to
Mhm.
show up and like commingle and be so immersed and involved with, like, right? Like, we are wives coming to show up at our husband's job. And so it's like hard to like eliminate the fact that like this is a job, it's not about us,
Exactly.
right? So I think that also is.
Like, people don't show up at a corporate office and they're like, hey, here to support my husband working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then there's a lot of things that, are planned by the wives.
Mhm.
And you have your type A's and your type B's. And so it's just trying to figure out everything for the greater good of everybody.
Yes, it's really nice with the Rangers to be able to step back and not have to do it. Like, there's just so many vets
Mm-hmm.
that like to just sit back and accept the rookie card again. So that's kind of, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take some pressure off. Does it add pressure though as well?
No.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I am type A, so like it's like but my time will come when it's my turn to do all that stuff. So I just, get to learn from the Rangers have an incredible, I mean, the women are absolutely unbelievable
Mm-hmm.
on that team. So it's cool to be able to sit back and kind of like watch how people like that how they function, how they handle it, how they do stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I stay learning from the people before me, because I'm such a type B person and I hate taking responsibility over things. And like, technically Lance is a veteran, but I'm like, not me. Don't choose me. I'll give you all the money you want to plan whatever you want, but please don't make me do anything. I will show up with good vibes, and that's it.
That's what you're always, the Dymin is really good at doing that.
I try to keep it chill all the time.
Yeah.
happy. I probably joke too much. They're probably like, okay, you're not funny. And I'm like, I just want people to be happy, man.
I mean, I try to just remind myself. I told you this once. Like, what would Diamond do in this situation?
Fake it till you make it, sister. Is that what I told you?
Yes.
I was like, you'll find your people. And that is true because I found some really good friends
Yeah.
throughout this whole entire thing. They just kind of, who's meant to be in your life will be in your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's fun to cross paths with people during this journey. So it's a blessing.
Yeah. For
All
sure.
right. What is real life versus social media? One thing that looks glamorous online, but is totally different in real life.
Probably like the fact that I have it together.
I feel like you really do have it together, though.
I try. But I mean, I'm like, it's a special day if I've changed my outfit, you know? Like,
I hear you.
I don't put makeup on. I don't wash my hair often. Like,
It is what it is, girl.
I'm wearing the same thing. There's spit up, there's other stuff on it. Like, I don't, I'm just getting by. Brooks is not cooperating with like homeschooling. So, like, yeah, I don't have it together, but it's nice to try.
Yeah.
Nice to
Well,
try.
you look like you have it together, like I said. Well, that's the whole point, the social media thing.
I got to wash my hair yesterday.
But that's everybody, right? Like, so many people could relate to that. Instagram's a highlight reel. None of it is real.
None of it is real.
No.
Yeah. No shot. No
And
shot.
I do think that people think our lives are very glamorous as like baseball wives, but it's like, we're never invited to the parties.
No, we don't get to do the fun stuff. No, not at all.
We're holding everything else down.
Yeah, I gotta watch the kids.
Exactly. It's like, come on now. Tell me what is next for your family. Like,
Oof.
I know you're like big advocates now.
Yes,
Is there things in the works?
there's some big things in the works.
Are you allowed to talk about them?
I can a little bit, not much. We definitely are launching a family foundation.
Love it.
What we do or what we're going to do, I can't say much about, but it's really incredible and really like just I'm very excited about it. So that we just filed for our nonprofit status, so that's really exciting.
Yeah.
So we've got some big things going like nationwide that we're able to do. Things that we're going to do in Tennessee, and then some things that we're working on in Dallas that are going to be like really legit. I think, I don't know, I can't really say much else, but there's some really cool, fun stuff that we're doing out. Like, it's tough, but
This sounds huge.
it's really big.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a really special platform we've been given with Jake's career.
Yeah.
And so, and there's some really cute merch.
We love merch.
We love merch.
Love merch.
So we're just trying to make Down syndrome cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
My mom owns group homes
Oh, cool.
for developmentally disabled adults.
Oh
and
my gosh.
a few with Down syndrome there, and they're the most joyful, kind, funny, and their families are great. So
That makes sense why your mom is like always so happy because she's probably around such happy people all the time.
yes, she does love it a lot.
Your mom, by the way, literally, I don't know if anyone's seen a picture of Diamond's mom. She literally looks like she's Diamond's sister.
Oh my gosh, everyone says that. She's got
Diamond's grandma, like, she also has not. I mean, it's just, I don't know what genes you guys have got going on over there, but it's like.
Well, thank you. I can confidently say it is Botox. But yeah, my mom wants to come on the podcast, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, please.
We'll
And
try and
all
get
her beauty tips. I mean, I would like to age like her.
Oh my god, she's absolutely crazy.
She's a good time too.
Yes. Well, is there anything else that you would like everybody to know? Like, what are your final thoughts?
I don't know.
Okay, that is perfectly fine.
I mean, I just, I feel like I could go like 600 routes. Like, if
Yeah.
we're always there. So, like, if we're at a game, come say hi. If you see someone on the street, a child, an adult, or anyone with Down syndrome, like go up and talk to them like they're a person. Um, and when people tell you they have someone in their family or someone or so with a disability, like don't apologize. Just be like, oh, cool, not like,
Mm-hmm.
oh. I'd say that.
Yeah.
I'd say like I don't really not too much to summarize. Yeah, yeah. Go baseball.
Yeah. Go team.
Go
I
team.
think it's really amazing. I really think that your kids are going to grow up and they're going to look back at all the things that you've done and they're just going to be like, my parents love me so
No,
much. And that's really like the most important thing in the world.
try.
And it
Try
seems
hard.
like Jake is a really, really good life partner.
He's literally the most incredible human being on the planet.
Yes. And Lance has said that. He's like really not like other guys. He's really cool. He's really sweet. Like,
Jake will be really excited to hear about that. He thinks Lance is mad at him from the home run situation.
he might be. But I mean, whose fault is it really, Lance? But
I don't know, but I mean, it was highlight for Jake. But he has Lance's jersey hung up in like his office up there. I mean,
yeah.
it's pretty cool. So he'll be really excited to hear that Lance thinks he's a cool human. So
Yeah, he really does. So we have nothing but the most respect for you guys.
thank you.
And I hope you have a really great time in Texas.
Me too. I hope we get to see you guys this year. If not, we're gonna staying on your farm. You're not too far from here.
Absolutely. We'll do like an in-house little interview, a little update. Because
Ooh.
hopefully you'll be able to tell me what you've been working on.
Yeah, March 31st is the day. 21st is the day, and then I can talk to you about stuff.
That's coming up. You'll have to send me merch. I love it.
I'm so sending you merch. I think it's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll wear it.
Yeah. Pretty cute.
And I'll be praying for you and Penelope during her surgery.
Thank
I hope
you.
it goes well. Are we hoping that's like a one and done surgery, or are there more in the future that we think?
Hoping it's one and done.
Good.
Recovery time, like in hospital, we could be home as soon as like 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So, 2 weeks from 14 days from now, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'll try to get it over with and get on to baseball life.
Yeah. Yeah. How fun. Just one thing to another.
House for a baseball season to distract you from an open heart surgery.
Yeah. Golly. Life's crazy. Well, I really appreciate you taking time. I know your life is so busy to come on Dymin in the Rough.
I'm like, you put her to sleep. She must have like the voice.
I honestly forgot that you were holding her. I couldn't see her.
She's a great baby. 10 out of 10. Recommend having
Right?
Down syndrome. She's just fantastic.
I can't wait till she can talk and then we'll interview her.
I'm very scared for that, so that'll be great.
Oh no. You're going to get it back so bad.
I really am.
Oh my gosh. Well, I will let you go, but thank you again.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.